It's been the season from hell for our poor Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson, and another hit keeps on coming. He's going to be out for the foreseeable future. We'll talk about it. And now we need somebody to step up at wide receiver. Who could it be? Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. I'm going to be honest, it's a little weird here at the Eston residence. PE3, not present. My son, Paul Andrew Eston III. My daughter, Zariah Luna, not here. My fiance, not here. I'm all in the house by myself, and we have snow all over the ground outside, so winter's here, baby. So it's weird, man. I'm just here by myself, but now I'm with all of you. So I guess I can yell as loud as I want to. And I feel like yelling because Garrett Wilson's hurt. Damn it. Golly. Again, it's been the season from hell for this guy and his beautiful 1,000-yard streak that's been happening every year. I've been able to rely on it. Tax, death, and Garrett Wilson getting 1,000 yards every season. That is clearly in jeopardy based on the latest injury report. And let's give it real quick here to ESPN's Rich Cimini, who broke the news on social media. Bad news for the Jets offense. Garrett Wilson is expected to miss at least 3 to 4 weeks with a knee sprain, sources say. Good news, no surgery, just rehab. So the good news is it's not he didn't lose his leg, but boy, oh my God, this is a devastating, crippling blow for this New York Jets offense that was struggling to move the ball with Garrett Wilson. Now, without Garrett Wilson, oh boy, that is an absolute crap pile of suckage, which sucks for Garrett. It sucks for Garrett. I hope Garrett heals up quick. And we'll talk about all that and more coming up here. But our number one Austrian Jet fan just gifted a Boy Green Coffee Club membership, baby! That is a YouTube membership to our channel here, where you get all kinds of perks. We'll talk more about that later. But that raffle ticket got punched in for our number one Austrian Jets fan. Let's see. Who is that new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club? That is Kyle McLeod. Welcome, Kyle. And number one Austrian Jet fan, you have now tied Mahar Khalil for first place in our raffle ticket prize. You guys both are at the top of the leaderboard, baby. Both at the top with 33 raffle tickets apiece. And again, the race is on, baby, because I guess I will show it right here at the beginning of the show. We are giving away an autographed Marty Lyons jersey. That's his Alabama College jersey. And at the bottom are his accomplishments stitched into the jersey, a super cool collector's item that you guys can hang up in your house or have it framed. I want to make sure I see a picture of whoever wins this thing, because on the, signature, the inscription there is to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Marty Lyon and the Marty Lyons Foundation. Says all kinds of wonderful things about Marty being in the College Football Hall of Fame, being a former first-round pick, Walter Payton Man of the Year, Jets Ring of Honor, etc. And if you want a chance to win this, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel, which I just found out, by the way. Here's a random Syracuse story. Syracuse football plays Boston College in the final game of their season this year, in the regular season, right? And Syracuse and Boston College are currently the two last place teams in the ACC. And I was like, oh, man, how much is a ticket to that game? Not that I want to go. I mean, it is here at Syracuse. $3 is the ticket, the cheapest ticket to that game. So you could choose, do I want to go to a Syracuse-Boston College football game at the end of November, or try to win a Marty Lyons jersey? The choice is yours, people. As Captain Planet says, the power is yours. So you can see. But yeah, $3 gives you a raffle ticket. And if you have one raffle ticket, you have a chance. Obviously, the more raffle tickets you buy, the better your odds are. But we'll be giving that away on December 1st. So there you go. Booyah. Shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby, here on the channel. Hell yeah. Let's get those memberships and super chats flowing. And now, NC Green here on the channel. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Is it going to be raining memberships today? Perhaps. That one goes to Mark Hyman. Mark Hyman getting a little bit of membership action. Shout out to NC Green, who adds another raffle ticket to the prize pack for this month. NC Green, you're up to 8 raffle tickets on the month. Wonderful job there. Excellent. What's not excellent is Garrett Wilson getting thrown down to the universe, to the hell high heavens. Now, let me address something real quick because I see it in the chat. Where is this? Where is this? Our old buddy Alon had something to say in the comment section before I go on. Where is he? Ah, yes, here it is from Alon. I listened to Attorney EZ's proposal to change my bet with BG. The answer is a resounding no. Get that razor ready. I don't need an edit to our bet, Alon. The bet has been made. It has been written in the record. Okay? And if you guys missed the show yesterday, okay, here was the bet. Okay, I'm feeling froggy. The Jets in their next 2 games play the New England Patriots, an incredibly difficult challenge on the road on Thursday Night Football, short week. We'll be here with you. We'll do a live watch party for Thursday Night Football, baby, so we'll see it all together. About 10 minutes before kickoff, you guys can jump over here, and we'll give you all the play-by-play for the game on Thursday Night Football. And then, after a mini bye, after you play a Thursday night game, the Jets play the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. Alon challenged me and said, hey, Paul, let's make a bet. If the Jets win both of those games, they go into New England, beat the Patriots, they go into Baltimore, beat the Ravens, he will donate 100 memberships to the channel. That's $3 a piece. That's $300 he's given to the channel, and will make it be raining from the high heavens. If the Jets go over, they lose both to New England and Baltimore, which is the odds makers would say is very likely because the Jets are going to be massive underdogs in both of those games, especially now that they won't have Garrett Wilson in either. Thanks for that injury report. I'm going to have to shave down this beautiful burly beard. Okay, I've been growing this puppy for a while, and I don't have to shave it down to the studs of like no hair. There will be some hair. It's about a 1.5, a 2 on the razor. You'll see, for people that don't shave, you're going to see a lot less hair if they lose. They go for 1 for 1. Well, nothing happens. There's no other bet. It's all in or all out. But Mama didn't raise no bitch. Okay, so I'm all in, baby. And hopefully I keep my beautiful beard. And hopefully the Jets are 2 wins richer. That would be a double dip. So I don't need to edit any bet. I feel very good. The vibes are high. The Jets have won 2 in a row, baby. And as an Austrian Jet fan said over there a second ago,
Who wanna fly with
woo-wee, I sure do, baby. I sure want to fly with the Jets. The vibes are high. The Jets have won 2 games in a row, but a step up in competition. The 8-2 New England Patriots. They've won 7 games in a row. They're in first place in the AFC East. They have a 2.5 game lead over those Buffalo Bills who got smacked in Miami. And here's the thing. The Patriots aren't going to win them all. I know they're going to be favored in a bunch of these games down the stretch, but they're not going 15-2. They're going to lose games. They're a young team. They got a first-year head coach in New England. It's not the first year he's ever been a head coach, obviously. He's a former coach of the year, for God's sakes, in Tennessee. But the Patriots are not going to keep winning. They lost to the Raiders in week 1. You're telling me we can't beat them? We can't find a way? Week 1, that shitty Raiders team beat New England in New England. It's possible. I'm telling you, there's a chance. But for a chance to be possible, the Jets are going to need a wide receiver to rise up. You know that song we were singing the lyrics earlier? Huh? The Rise Up lyrics song, huh? From Andra Day. You're broken down and tired of living life on a merry-go-round. Oh boy, this feels like a Jet song, and you can't find the fighter. But I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. We're gonna walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, and I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up. And that's what we need for someone in the Jets wide receiver room. We need someone to rise up because Josh Reynolds, one of our other starting receivers, he's on IR, unavailable. Garrett Wilson, we'll see if he officially gets placed on IR. If you get placed on IR, you miss a minimum of 4 games. Garrett could miss 3 or 4 games, so that'll be a decision made a few days from now, I imagine, if that's going to happen. So we'll see. So that means Adonai Mitchell, can you make your debut? He did not make his debut against the Cleveland Browns in Week 10. Aaron Glenn says he wasn't comfortable enough with the playbook yet, but he says basically he gave full confidence Adonai Mitchell's going to be ready to go for Thursday Night Football. Blessed be he. Blessed be he. Because Adonai, we're going to need you, buddy. We are going to need you. John Mechie III, he made his debut. Okay, he's in the room. But, I mean, we are going to have to dig in the bag. Is Allen Lazard going to be a healthy player again? He was a healthy scratch, against Cleveland. He's going to play again. Oh, boy. Tyler Johnson, Arian Smith. To me, I want to run all the young bucks. Arian Smith, John Mechie III, Adonai Mitchell. Let's go crazy. Again, personally, if I was making the decision, as I explained yesterday on the show, give me Ty God. It's Ty God time. Now, on a short week, do the Jets make a quarterback change? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But that's what I would do. Because, yikes, that passing game was awful. But I wouldn't just remove Justin Fields from the playbook. Cordell Stewart slash his ass, like my pop would say it over the weekend. Like, utilize him. Feature him. Figure it out. I don't know. Like, because, again, I think there are plays, if you're just Justin Fields, where it's a shotgun set, you got Justin Fields like Breece Hall to your right, and all of a sudden you go, Bluebird 22, and you get the ball, and then you just go, let's fucking go. And you start running immediately to the left. Pull a couple of offensive linemen, and Justin Fields, the human battering ram, baby. Let's freaking go. Let's go off that left side. Whoop. Let's go off that right side. Like, there are plays to be had there for Justin Fields where I would utilize that in a couple of different that'd be great in the red zone package. Use that in the middle of the field. I don't know. Mix it in. Maybe have Tyrod and Justin Fields at the field on the same time and do some trickeration. But they should get into the bag. That's what I would do. Then I'd have Tyrod as the starter, and then I'd get some action there with Justin in. Breece Hall is the straw that stirs the drink, baby. He is on pace for the best season he has ever had. So there's going to have to be a heavy dose, especially no Garrett Wilson. Shoot, Breece Hall, get ready to learn 1,000 carries and a lot of catches. Let's get some more screens involved. Oh, Breece. Let's get some Breece Hall action involved. Mason gosh darn Taylor, man, at tight end. You got to get some Mason Taylor action going. He should be a security blanket. You're trying some deep shots. You're trying some different passing combinations, intermediate, perhaps in the short game. Maybe try something deep. Then you got to go, whoa, up, nothing open. Boop, dump off Mason Taylor. Up, Breece Hall. Boop, dump off to Breece Hall. You got to get some of that action going. No doubt about it. Okay? So don't be afraid to get willy. But the thing that I did not like personally, again, Aaron Glenn has forgotten more football than I'll ever know. But when he defended Justin Fields at the presser yesterday, saying, hey, man, he only threw 11 passes, which is what Taylor Sterling was saying in the comments section, which, whatever, man. I don't think that's a legitimate excuse, especially because this isn't the only time that Justin Fields has thrown, like, under 60 passing yards. This has happened multiple times, 3 times this season, 3. Under 60? Under 60? Oh, boy. Like, that's a lot of action, man. We're talking -10 against Denver. We're talking Carolina, where he got benched at halftime. That's another one. Buffalo. Actually, it's happened 4 times this season. It's happened even more than I said. It just happened against freaking Cleveland. Okay, so Cleveland, Carolina, Buffalo, Denver. I mean, Jesus. The point is that it happens all the gosh darn time, man. This is not just a one-game sample. So, oh, he only threw 11 passes. What about all those other games then, Jack? So, anywho, the point is that the Jets are really going to have to get Tanner. Like, in this kind of game, the Jets are 2-7. They've won 2 in a row, so we got vibes are popping a little bit there, okay? But New England has won 7 in a row. They're in first place. You're going to have to do crazy-ass shit. You're going to have to be willing to go for it in situations that maybe you shouldn't be in a normal game scenario, okay? You are going to have to get funky. And look at that, a great shout out here from Milan. Fields is Terrell Pryor. Great era But you almost forget, like when I go back through Jets history, you like forget that, oh my God, that guy played for the Jets? Like Terrell Pryor, Chris Johnson, Ronnie Lott, Steve Atwater. Who else? Who else is on that list? Plaxico Burress. Like, that happened? What? Huh? Who? And some of those guys had interesting moments. Some of it was complete flameouts. Like, oh, that was awful. Like, C.J. Spiller at one point played for the Jets. Unless I made that up in my head. I'm pretty sure I remember that one. But, like, that's my point, that we have all these weird cameos. It's very strange. But the Jets are going to have to get in the bag. If you want any chance of beating New England, New England's awesome, okay? I hate to say it. It really boils my blood to even say it out there in the universe. You're going to have to do some crazy shit. You know what? I'll give you guys a Taekwondo story. I'm a near fourth degree black belt. My ACL exploded at the very end of my black belt test. I was about to get my fourth degree black belt, so that's unfortunate. So at some point, I got to get my fat ass back in shape and go back. But so one of my favorite activities in Taekwondo is sparring, which is fighting. You get on the gear and you fight your opponent. And here's a question that gets thrown around the dojo all the time. Who's the most dangerous person you're afraid of in a fight, in a sparring fight? That's what they say. And, you know, you would think, oh, a 12th degree black belt, a guy like Bruce Lee or Claude Van Damme or somebody like Steven Seagal. Like, oh, that would be the most dangerous guy. You want to know the answer? Who's the most dangerous guy in a fight like that? A white belt. Because a white belt has no control. Black belts, right? I'm a black belt. So sparring other black belts, we have a sense of control. Like if my opponent drops his hands and I can knock him out with a roundhouse kick, I don't, because we have control. We're not animals. However, a white belt, they're just a baby deer out there. They have no idea what they're doing. Woo! And that's the most scary thing, because they can do anything crazy. You have no idea. Like, Jesus, like it's hard to prepare for someone like that. We go to the Jets here. It's hard to prepare for an animal that's backed up into the corner, that's a 10.5-point underdog on the road. The Patriots have everything to lose. The Jets have nothing to lose. If they lose, they get a better draft pick. The Jets have nothing to lose. It is balls to the wall, baby. It's house money. They are coming in there, guns a-blazing. Literally, they have nothing to lose. Because everyone expects the Jets to lose. They're like, geez, Patriots going to run through the Jets. Oh, are they? We've seen a lot of upsets this season. Don't start counting your chickens before they hatch. Okay, that's just what I would say about that. Make sure that you guys have a thumbs up button here on YouTube. We got 300 people in the room, and we have 100 of that 300, 33%, one might say, watching on the old YouTube, which we appreciate. Thank you very much. That's the optimal way to enjoy the show, so I appreciate you guys that tune into Boy Green Daily here. But here's the thing. We have 20 likes on the video, yet 100 people are in the room. That doesn't make any sense. So you other 80 people out there in the universe, can you like the video for Pete's sake? You enjoyed enough to be paying attention and watching it right now. You might as well like the video, whether you're watching live or after the fact. So, folks, make sure you hit that like button. I'm trying to get this Jets show to 10,000 subscribers. That's it. Again, it's sort of an arbitrary number. But when I started this thing, I'm like, you know what would be cool? 10,000. What a number. 10? And I said it for Twitter, too. Like when I got to, when I was climbing the Twitter follower ranks, I'm like, man, 10,000, that'd just be cool. 10,000. Now I'm up to 18-something thousand, which is crazy. I would have never thought. Now it's just water. Water is wet. I'm just throwing buckets of water into the ocean. But YouTube, I want to get to 10,000 subscribers. That feels to me like, booyah, puff out chest. Yeah, baby. Boom. Boy Green Coffee Club, rerunning 10,000 deep. So that's what I'm trying to do. So make sure you guys like the video. That's how it gets the Jet show in front of others. Of course, subscribing to the channel as well. We are a handful of subscribers away from 8,170 subscribers. So we're climbing, baby. We're climbing. By the way, a quick shout out. Okay, so we do a lot of content on this channel. Every single morning, you can rely on us. Christmas, Thanksgiving, doesn't matter. 7:30 in the morning, okay, for Boy Green Daily. But here's this, okay? We also do bonus interviews as well here on the channel. And this interview, to your right, my left, is what we just did another deep dive. RJ Ochoa, a Dallas Cowboys insider, joined us yesterday night, afternoon, whichever it was. And we talked about Mozzie Smith. the newest addition for the Jets. You guys really enjoyed my conversation with Jake Arthur, who's a Colts insider, saying, who the hell is Adonai Mitchell? Can we learn more about this guy? And you guys dug it so much, I'm like, well, we got to do one for Mozzie.
I'm going off the rails on a Mozzie train. There you go.
I resisted the urge, by the way, of playing that during the interview with RJ Ochoa, but I wanted to, but I didn't. Because I'm because I'm an adult. But I'll tell you this, look at this. We talked about the Quentin Williams trade. We talked about Mozzie. What can he bring to the team? And what went wrong during the trade talks between the Jets and Cowboys for Quincy Williams? What happened there? So we talk about all that. You guys could check that out after Boy Green Daily. It's in our video section. Terrific interview. I hope you guys check it out. A lot of cool information in there. And today's a Tuesday, so Boy Green meets Woody at 3 o'clock. So, folks, we have content all the time, at minimum once a day. But most of the time, it's more than once a day. On Sundays, on game days, it's 3 times a day. On Thursday, for this game day, we're going to have Boy Green Daily. Okay, we're going to have that. We're going to have Boy Green meets Woody. We're going to have the live watch party. We're going to have the post-game show. I mean, the show is just boo, 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 boo. I mean, it's an overload, for God's sakes, of everything in terms of content here on the program. So hopefully you guys are getting a good kick out of it. Shout out to RJ Ochoa. He was good. So it was wonderful to learn more about Mozzie and that as well. Yes, for sure. Yeah, Jets have nothing to lose but everything to gain, for sure. Alon says if the Jets keep it within 2 touchdowns, I'd be impressed. Again, people just think they know everything that is happening in a variety of formats, and they think they know it's this. They think they know it's this, or they know it's that, and they just don't. And I see it in the chat, and I wanted to start off the show with this, but I'm glad that we're getting to it now. By the way, the line is up to 11.5 now. Thank you, Alon, for that. Today is Tuesday, November 11th. And folks, today is Veterans Day. It is a federal holiday in the United States of America, and it is to honor our military veterans of the United States Armed Forces. And if you have been a fan of this show for 3 seconds on this channel, you should know that the armed forces and supporting the troops is my number one thing here on the channel. My father spent 20 years in the United States Navy. My brother spent 4 years in the Marines. I was supposed to go into the military before we moved up here to New York. It is just, my uncle was in the Army. Like, man, military blood runs through my veins, and we want to do anything for the troops. And I want to thank everybody that participated. And hey, all the credit, none to me, 0 to me, all to my dad, who ran our Hop on Pop, Wounded Warrior Project raffle, where we raised thousands of dollars for the troops, and just a small piece that we were able to contribute is terrific. And thank you to all the fans that contributed. That was amazing, and I'm sure we'll start doing that again in the future. We'll try to do it once a year. I don't know. I'll talk to my dad about it and see. But absolutely, make sure you show your love for all of our veterans that make all of this possible. The fact that I have a chance to do this goofy Jet show that apparently a lot of you vibe with is all because of the freedoms we've been blessed with because of our men and women in the United States Armed Forces for taking care of us and giving us the opportunity to do whatever the hell we want, whether it's Jets or this or that or family or football or anything in your life that you want to do. It's all because we have the freedoms to do so. Thank you to the men and women that serve this country. So absolutely, thank you guys for commenting on that in the comment section. I want to start off the show with that. I'm glad that we got to it. So God bless our troops and God bless the United States of America. That is absolutely terrific. So massive, massive love and everything that is sent out there for sure. Yes, let's get to a super chat coming in from our number one Austrian Jet fan. Every time I get a super chat here from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
With a troops appreciation post, and yes, USA chants all around America, USA, and again, just a massive shout out to the troops. Absolutely massive shout out. And number one Austrian Jet fan with your $2 Euro Super Chat, which is a $3 normal Super Chat. You have now taken the lead over Mahar Khalil, baby. You now have 34 raffle tickets in our contest, baby. 34 raffle tickets. Unbelievable. And there he is, our number one Austrian Jets fan, baby. Well done, Austrian. Well done, sir. Nice. Excellent. All right, so we'll update all the banners here coming up in just a moment on the program. But number one Austrian Jet fan, well done, sir. 34 raffle tickets so far this month. The banner will look a little screwed up with who is in what place, but it is updated with 34 raffle tickets. Again, let's do one more plug. Marty Lyons jersey. We have a special guest that should be joining us here in a few minutes. I'll let you guys know that in a second. If that guest is unable to join us for whatever reason, we'll open up the phone lines. But the Marty Lyons jersey is up for bid, baby. Make sure you guys submit. $3 raffle tickets, super stickers, super chats, anything of that nature. Again, to do all that, you have to do it on YouTube. Or, if you prefer, a PayPal or Venmo situation, that is at BoyGreen25. BOY, green the color 25. For those who don't know, YouTube takes a 30% cut on everything we do here on the channel, whether it's memberships, super chats, super stickers, anything. They take a third of that cut on every single purchase. Now, hey, YouTube makes it pretty easy and it's fun to engage with on the show. So if you guys enjoy doing it, that's fine with me. Hey, YouTube, you want to take your cut? So be it. But if you guys want to avoid that, you guys can always send in PayPal or Venmo, and those raffle tickets count all the same. So make sure you do that. That is PayPal or Venmo at BoyGreen25 if you prefer that direction as well. Okay, let's go into the comments section here for a second. We have 300 people in the room. Appreciate that. Like the video here on the old YouTube. Let's get those likes up, baby. Let's see. Let's see. Darren says, are you shaving the beard on the show so we can watch you cry? No, I don't think so. That would be very messy. I don't know how I would possibly do that on the show. And in that way. And here's the other thing, because of all the timing of that, so I think he's really going to get a kick out of this. Wait, let me pull up the Jet schedule just to make sure I have it correct here. Where is this? So isn't this something? So if I were to lose the bet and have to shave off a significant majority of this beard, here's how it's working. So me and my dad are going to the Syracuse Notre Dame game in Notre Dame. So South Bend, it'll be the first time going. We're doing a lot of traveling. So Syracuse is bye week this week. The Notre Dame game is next week, right? So the Jets have the Patriots this week and then the Ravens following week. We're going to do the Notre Dame game, which is the night before the Ravens game. So we're going to do the Notre Dame game. I'm going to be flying in Sunday morning. So we'll keep you guys posted on what that looks like for Boy Green Daily and the watch party and all that stuff. That stuff, how I do that may be a little up in the air. We'll figure that out for travel. But, and again, I told you my family's not here. My kids aren't here. My fiance's not here. They're on a 2-week vacation, basically. They're in Massachusetts. So me and my dad are going to go to that Notre Dame game, not this weekend. It's a following weekend. And then I'm going to be flying back. I'm going to be here for like 24 hours here in New York. And then I'm going to go pick up my family. So my family left seeing this. If the Jets lose both of these games, I'm going to have to shave the beard and then go pick up my family in New Hampshire. And my kids are going to see me for the first time from this to whatever that would look like after that Ravens game, because I would shave it on Monday morning before Boy Green Daily that morning before I leave. So you guys will see it here. And unless they watch the show, I guess they'd see it then. And I go pick them up. And then we go, I'm going to be at my pop's place for Thanksgiving in a few days after that. So, oh boy. Yeah, there's a lot on the line here. But here's the thing. I believe in my Jets. So to be honest, I don't have to worry about none of this noise because the Jets are going to win. So it doesn't matter. If the Jets win one of the games, my beard is safe. I want them to win both. That'd be great. And all of a sudden, the Jets are 4-7 in the thick of the playoffs, baby. All right. We have a member super chat coming up in here. Let's go.
Wow.
Let's see. Joe, I always got to like lean in because of my reading glasses here, especially with YouTube making all these ads now. Joe the Jet G6550. He asked, do we draft a quarterback this year or wait for 2027? it's a great question, Joe. We're going to be debating this, I imagine, for many more months to come. Do we draft a quarterback in 2026? Do we draft a quarterback in 2027? Do we trade for a veteran? By the way, oh my goodness, my Twitter mentions are blown up with that Matt Lombardo take about Trevor Lawrence. Oh my goodness. I mean, I have 300 replies. That's called getting ratioed, kids out there in the universe. Those who wondered what that term meant. Wow. I'm getting a lot of comments like this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. So it seems like people not on the Goldilocks train, which, by the way, I wasn't either, but just want to throw that out there in the universe. So, yikes. They were not a fan of that. But that would be option C, I suppose. But to me, I don't know how you don't draft a quarterback here in 2026. Now, I'm the kind of guy that drafts a quarterback every year. Now, it doesn't always have to be in the first round, but I'm taking quarterbacks every year. You can never have. We're never going to be on the show like, geez, we have too many quarterbacks. What a first world problem. If we ever have that problem, I'd love to have it. I mean, honestly, that'd be great. Let's have too many good options. We don't have that option, obviously, right now. So personally, I pick option C on this. Both. Take one in 2026, take one in 2027. Let's just try to solve the problem, man. Let's take as many swings. We have a pickaxe. I'm just chopping a tree. Whoo! How many chops are going to take to take this tree down? I've got no freaking clue, but I'm going to keep chopping. Chop, 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 chop. That's it. But Joe the Jet, by the way, thank you for being a member on this channel for 6 months. That's how I support my family. So when you guys enjoy the content and become a part of this community and be members, you're $2.99. You may say, it's only $2.99. To me, it makes a tremendous difference. So I appreciate everybody that joins the Boy Green Coffee Club. That's currently the pinned comment right now on youtube.com/BoyGreen25. Also always available in the YouTube description down below. So again, we'll wait a few more minutes and see if our guest is joining us as scheduled. If he does not, we'll open it up to the phone lines here on the program. But yes, so it's always available in the YouTube description to join the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's just that simple. No matter if you're on your phone, computer, whatever, just join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Click this link. Boop. It says, hey, it's only $2.99. You say yes. Join the army, get all the perks, loyalty badge next to your name, just like Joe has right here. You get access to all of our emojis on the channel, early access to videos. Some of our interviews we've been dropping, you guys have gotten it before the general public, and so much more. And again, on this channel, it's one level, baby. $2.99, that's it. That gets you the whole Monty. So that is the full shish kebab. So appreciate you, Joe, for being a member. Keeping the action alive here on the program. So thank you, Joe. Appreciate that. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let's go to our special guest, baby, joining us here on the program. He is a beat reporter for JetsXFactor.com and the main squeeze for the Riverdale Press. It is none other. He has made his return to the program. Nick Faria, baby.
How's everything going, Paul?
Good morning, Nick. How are you this morning?
Good. Busy time as always.
Yeah, definitely around this holiday season as well. I'll throw Joe's super chat back up and throw it over to you. Do the Jets draft a quarterback in 2026 or 2027?
I think they're going to do everything in their power to get Mendoza. I really, really do. I think the fact that they were at Happy Valley and the fact that Mendoza in that fourth quarter and that final drive played as well as he did, I think that'll show the Jets coaching staff that, listen, what we need is a quarterback that can run this offense efficiently and effectively. And Mendoza, the NFL comp is Jared Goff. I think that's a very fair comp. He is not going to be a surefire number one pick in every single draft, but he's accurate. He's got enough of an arm to get it downfield. And the anticipation that he throws with is going to really, really help him. So I think, to me, if I were a betting man of who the Jets are going to draft in the first round next year, it's going to probably be Fernando Mendoza.
And shout out, by the way, to U Stadium for keeping track of this. There's too much going on, so my peanut brain can't. But apparently that's the third time the Jets Brain Trust has seen Fernando Mendoza in person. So, I know that I always think of them as touch points because there's going to be the combine, there's the offset, there's all-star games. There's a lot of times, especially if you're the Jets, to look at these potential quarterbacks and see them as many times as possible, whether in-person game opportunities, all-star games, combine, pro days, top 30 visits. Like, there's a lot of conversations coming in here. So if Fernando's the next guy, so be it. Let me ask you, you say you think they'll, just a follow-up on this, you think they'll do whatever it takes. Obviously, the Jets have won 2 in a row, and who knows how many more they can win before the season's end. Seems like Aaron Glenn has the pulse of the locker room, and there's good vibes happening in there. Even if they drop down in the draft to whatever, let's call it 10th, you'd think that let's say Fernando is going to be a top 3 pick or something. The Jets are going to be aggressive, you believe, to go get their guy?
Well, I do, but I also want to preface it by saying it also depends on who's picking above them. Right now, currently, the New Orleans Saints, the Tennessee Titans, the Giants, these are teams that are above the New York Jets right now in terms of their draft standing. Mm-hmm. But if you really sit and think about it, are those teams going to draft a quarterback in the first round this year? Tennessee Titans just drafted Cam Ward with the first overall pick. My betting odds right now are going to tell me that they're going to hire a head coach who works with Cam Ward, someone who's willing to take that on more than anything else. And then, of course, you have the Saints. And, they should be in the market for a quarterback. But Tyler Shuck played really, really well last week against the Carolina Panthers. This isn't to say that he's the future of the position, but if he continues to play well, or at least play serviceably, I think it's far more likely they try to give him the opportunity to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. For the Giants, they have Jackson Dart. Who else is there? I mean, really, you sit and think about, you take down the list of teams that are above the Jets right now, and really the only one in my mind that's in contention for a quarterback next year is probably the Las Vegas Raiders. But would Pete Carroll want to hire and sign a rookie quarterback and have him be the starter going right away? I don't know if that's the case. I think a veteran quarterback makes sense in Las Vegas more than a rookie. So it really, I can sit here and say, they're still going to take a quarterback with the 10th overall pick, even if they're at 5. But if you really look at how the draft board breaks down, and again, it's still very, very early, you could be looking at a situation where Fernando Mendoza falls at their lap at 5, and they run to the table to get him.
Is he the unquestioned number 1 quarterback in college football right now?
I believe so. And the big reason why, I know a lot of people like Ty Simpson,
sure,
but to me, Mendoza has played now for multiple seasons. He started for multiple seasons, which is always a key barometer. If you are able to improve your game consistently from year to year at the college level, that shows out on tape. Ty Simpson's played, 8 games as a starting quarterback? Yeah. Mm-hmm. To me, that is a disqualifier. If you don't have enough experience in college, what makes you think that you're going to be able to just walk in and play well at the NFL level? It's the Anthony Richardson conundrum that teams face. Simpson is probably a better athlete than Mendoza, but from a better quarterbacking standpoint, Mendoza is the guy, because I want someone who's played at this level or played at a high college level before, someone who's had success, someone who can win, and someone who understands what defenses try to do at the point of attack. I don't know if Ty Simpson has that yet. I think he needs more seasoning if that were to be the case.
Which makes a lot of sense, because that's the thing that I am scared with it to all hell. There's so many of these quarterbacks that have not had enough experience at that level. You take them, and then all of a sudden, it's one of those situations where they need time to develop. Do the Jets give time to develop in this New York market, depending on who the other quarterbacks are? So it's a conversation to be had. But thank you, Joe, for that super chat shout out. You guys can continue to send in your super chat questions for Nick Faria. He is the Jets beat reporter for JetsXFactor.com, and also does great work for the Riverdale Press. We have 300 people in the room, including 100 of those on YouTube. Hit the like button on YouTube. Only 40 likes on YouTube, yet 100 people in the room. The math don't math, people. Make sure you contribute to today's program, and it is absolutely free to do. We started off the show with this, Nick. Devastating news for the Jets. Garrett Wilson is going to be out 3 to 4 weeks. It's good to know it's not surgery, but again, 3 to 4 weeks, that's another half of the season, because if he's out for that length of time, there's only going to be 4 games remaining in the regular season at the end, and then the Jets would have to evaluate, is it worth trying to bring Garrett Wilson back at that point, considering his health? How devastating of a blow is this for you in your evaluations for the New York Jets?
Well, to me, I don't know if there's any fair evaluation that you can give on the Jets offense, even if Garrett Wilson is healthy. Aaron Glenn's not going anywhere. This coaching staff is not going anywhere. And I think a lot of people like what they have seen from a structure and scheme-wise from Tanner Engstrand, the offensive coordinator and play caller. It's really hard to scheme up an offense when your quarterback cannot complete passes. Justin Fields was 6 of 11, and at the half, he had -5 net passing yards. -5 net passing yards. And it is insane to say, but this was not the first time that has happened this season. So as much as Garrett Wilson's injury is concerning, and you want him to be healthy, and you want him to be out here, it's hard for me to say, oh, if he was out here, the offense would be this. Justin Fields would be this. And that's not the case. And quite frankly, this offense is not, you're not going to get a fair evaluation on Tanner Engstrand on this offense until you have competent quarterback play, which you have not had all year. So as hard of an injury as it is, as bad of an injury as it is to not have your best offensive weapon on the field, it's not like they're going to make the playoffs anyway. It's not like they were going to go win 8 in a row and finish 10-7. That's not going to happen. And the quarterback was already struggling with him. It's just one of those things where I look and say it's unfortunate, but it's not the end of the world for a lost season like this to begin with.
So let's get into that quarterback thing. Justin Fields struggled mightily, and the Jets won in spite of him. Special teams touchdown, 6 sacks for the defense. They were able to overcome that, but I imagine that's not a sustainable way of winning because those 2 return touchdowns and a kick return and punt return is the first time that happened in Jets history, or tied if you count the 1960 New York Titans. So that being only the first or second time that's ever happened in team history seems unlikely to come again. And we'll get another couple of those against the Patriots coming up. But Aaron Glenn defended Justin Fields and he only threw 11 passes. But the fact of the matter is here, Nick, in 4 games and it's crazy that this is a real stat. In 4 games this season, Justin Fields has thrown for fewer than 60 passing yards in 4 games. Like, good Lord. Like, if that was the only one you want to say he only threw 11 passes, I guess. I mean, that's still bad, but I get, like, are the Jets going to make a quarterback change here? They got a short week. New England Patriots, Thursday Night Football, but like Tyrod has to be better, at least from a passing perspective. Maybe he's not going to run around like Justin Fields, but maybe he could still use Justin Fields in like a slash package or something and utilize him in that way. But let me just rewind it and go back to the foundational question here. Are the Jets going to make a quarterback change to Tyrod Taylor against the New England Patriots, Thursday Night Football, Week 11, in a matter of days?
No, and I don't think they should because they're on a 2-game winning streak, and you don't mess with the mojo in that way. And I'm not saying that Justin Fields is a reason for the 2-game winning streak because that's not the case. Breece Hall, special teams, the front 4, they are the reasons for the 2-game winning streak. But as the quarterback, you want to keep the mojo going as much as you possibly can. I do think that his leash is going to be incredibly short on Thursday. If we're at the point at halftime where they don't have an offensive touchdown, they have 1 first down, and they can't complete a pass, I think we're going to see Tyrod Taylor. I'm not surprised if that would be the case. I just look at this from the perspective of if you are the Jets, is Tyrod Taylor going to actually win you a football game? And I think most people will say maybe, maybe not, but the passing offense will look a little bit better, so that could, turn the tide. Ultimately, though, I think it goes back to the hubris of this coaching staff saying, we can fix him. We're going to let Justin Fields play quarterback, and he's going to be successful in our offense. And they had 1 game where it really looked like it could work, where they used RPOs, they had motion, they used all these different things to help Fields out. And then when it blew up in their face against the Buffalo Bills, they never really went back to it. Some of that is on coaching. Some of that is on Tanner Engstrand. But most of it is just simply the quarterback isn't good enough. And to be fair, as much as Tyrod Taylor is a better passer, it's not like he is a significant upgrade at the quarterback position this year.
Boy, man. Well, again, they're winning 2 in a row, so I get it. It would send perhaps the wrong vibes. But, let me ask you. Shortly. So what? Yeah, go on now, Lassie. Here we go. Yep. So what are the chances that you give the Jets against the 8-2 7-game winning streak, first place in the AFC East, New England Patriots on Thursday Night Football?
Well, I have a gut feeling that there's an upset potentially brewing. And the only reason is that the Patriots are a young football team and they have looked fantastic. They have looked absolutely fantastic. They're 8-2. They're on a 6-game winning streak now?
7. Yeah.
7. I mean, it's incredible what they have been able to do. Drake May has looked like an MVP. Someone said he was the best quarterback of the draft class, but I'm not going to say who. But listen, it shows why competent coaching, good play calling, and having a solid quarterback changes life forever for an organization. But they're still a young team. And with that can come hiccups. They had a hiccup, for example, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers look absolutely terrible. They have been terrible. They look terrible. Rodgers looks awful. They're 5-4. They should really kind of be like 3-6. It looks ugly in Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh walked into Foxborough and beat Drake May and the Patriots. I'm not saying I'm going to say it's 100% that an upset's happening. It would not surprise me if the Jets walked into Foxborough and won an ugly football game that everyone's like, how the heck did they win that? And it's like, holy crap, they've actually won 3 in a row. Do not be surprised if that's the case.
Whew. And here's another one. People forget this. Week 1, the Las Vegas Raiders went into Foxborough and beat the Patriots. And I know that's week 1 and crazy shit happens, but and that's where I'm at too, Nick. I think, also I just put my beard bet on the line for the Patriots and Ravens over the next 2 weeks. So you can tell me how you feel about those chances. But the fact of the matter is that the Patriots are this young team, and they're not going to go 15-2. I know what's on the schedule. I get it. Hey, this team better than this team. Like, it's just not that simple. It's not just black and white. Things happen. This freaking league is weird, man. I don't know. All kinds of crazy crap happens. So
two of the top teams in the NFC played a 10-7 game last night. 10-7, and 2 of the best offenses in football. The NFL regular season is very, very weird, and it's been weird for a very long time. Instead of sitting there saying this is a given, this is a given, this is a given, no one thought the Saints were going to walk into Carolina and beat the Carolina Panthers this week. I mean, seriously, that was stunning. The Buffalo Bills walked into Miami this week, and the Miami Dolphins beat the crap out of them. This happens, and again, you have long winning streaks like this, like the Patriots have, and you kind of wait for that loss, that one loss where it's like, oh, okay, the streak's over. They didn't get the bounce today. They didn't get this. They didn't get that. Those kind of things that are happening during a 7-game winning streak, they sometimes kind of end. I looked, last year, longest winning streak of the season was at Philadelphia. They won 10 in a row. But that one game against the Washington Commanders, they were blowing them out. They were dominating. And Jalen Hurts got a concussion. And they ended up losing that game. That doesn't mean they're bad. That doesn't mean they're going to miss the playoffs. But it just shows that when you have a long winning streak like this, anything can happen to any particular team.
What's your temperature? You just mentioned the rest of the AFC East, right? Buffalo, heading into the season, everyone's like, another division title for Buffalo. And they just went into Miami, got beaten with a rusty wrench. They got blown out and they had already lost at home to New England Patriots. So now the Patriots have a 2.5-game lead, and the best the Bills can do is split the series if they don't get their booty swept later in the year. So what's sort of your temperature on where the Buffalo Bills are at this season, and quite frankly, in terms of their overall championship window?
Well, I think the best way that I can describe it is this. It all depends on who's the 1 seed. And I love what the Indianapolis Colts are doing. I really, really do. I don't think there's anyone on this planet that thinks they are a Super Bowl contender. I'm sorry. They're not. With Daniel Jones, I don't see them as a Super Bowl contender. They are having a great run because their running back is playing like the best running back in football. But when push comes to shove, I'm expecting Daniel Jones to choke. It's just what it is. And until he proves me otherwise in the postseason, I have to live with that projection, because people were saying the same thing about Sam Darnold, and he absolutely crapped himself in weeks 18 and the wild card round. I don't buy the Colts one bit. The Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't buy. I just don't buy what these guys are selling. And I don't buy the Denver Broncos either, because Bo Nix has been highly disappointing this season. They've got a great team around him, but eventually you're going to need the quarterback play to happen. So I don't think Buffalo's championship window is gone. However, Josh Allen, and this is kind of the underrated question of the season, he has been terrible pretty much all year. He has not been good for the most part this entire season. Completion percentage is at the lowest it's been in years. they're running the football more, which is fine. They're finding ways to win games, but he himself has not played like the NFL MVP. And that changes the trajectory of what the Bills look like this season. They look like a wild card team, maybe a borderline wild card team, if Allen is not playing up to his standard of play. And that's the big question. If Allen plays better, this team can beat anybody. But if he continues to struggle, I mean, they were beaten by a 2-win Dolphin team. Anything can happen.
Unbelievable. I just, again, and that just goes to, again, we just repeat it, right? Oh, man, all these odd scores and teams that win. Like, who would have thought the dead Miami Fish, who had just fired their general manager a handful of weeks ago, and Mike McDaniel could have been fired at any moment, and the Bills had everything to play for. The Dolphins had nothing to play for. The only thing they heard was their draft position. It didn't matter.
Might just save Mike McDaniel's job, too, because if they start winning a couple of games, that could be the demarcation point for his career.
That certainly could make a lot of sense. Let's do this. We'll open up the phone lines. You guys can give all your compliments directly to Nick Ferry in person. We'll take a quick half time out. That coming up next.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. I'm talking Jets football, man. Bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone,
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Boy Green, bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green, bugging daily, bugging daily, bugging daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Let's go!
That's the spirit, Hap. Let's friggin' go. Again, guys, make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. I'm Boy Green. That's Nick Ferry. You're the salt and pepper, yin and yang, mac and cheese, one of the greatest combos of all time. But before we go to the fans, I see we got a lot that want to call into the show. I've seen this on social media, so I might as well throw it over to you, Nick Ferry. The Giants fired Brian Daboll yesterday, and we'll see what he chooses to do next with his life. But there have been some Jet fans saying, oh, Brian Daboll to the Jets staff next year. Like, that would make a lot of sense. He used to be the quarterback coach back in the day for a couple of seasons in 2007 and 2008. He's an offensive mind. Look what he did for Josh Allen back in the day. Maybe he's the guy. Is there any possibility that Brian Daboll could join Aaron Glenn's staff in at some point this season, I guess, but more importantly for the potential of 2026?
No, I think it's more likely that he goes back to Buffalo. I think the Joe Brady run in Buffalo is going to end this season, whether it be by firing or a head coaching job. And that'll leave the door open for Daboll to go back to Buffalo.
Okay, there you go. That seems to make the most sense. Just go back home, lassie. All right, let's go to the phone lines, and we'll answer all your calls here for a little bit. Indy Jets will kick us off. Indy?
Well, good morning, BG. Nick, it's always a pleasure.
Morning.
Yes, quite.
You know, we can't go to Tyrod. Tyrod can't even be an option unless Fields gets hurt. Fields has to start the game. And here's why. When Tyrod came in the Buffalo game, he didn't play any better. You know, they each had a half basically, and Tyrod didn't play any better. When Tyrod came in
the 27 yards, he did. Like, again, the line wasn't very high, but he definitely played better than Justin Fields. Come on, Indy. Come on.
Did he score?
I don't even remember the score of the game.
Right,
so
exactly.
He scored twice. I believe
in the Buffalo game.
Yeah. Let me pull that.
They didn't get shut out.
Yeah, they definitely didn't get shut out. Yeah, they lost 30-10. Yeah, in week 2. So Justin didn't have that touchdown at the beginning. Yeah, the touchdown came in the fourth quarter. Yeah, that was Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, okay, in a garbage time, right? And now let's go to the Carolina. Let's go to the Carolina. But here's my point: but he didn't. Right? When you're down 30 to 3, you know the defense is a lot different. So go to the Carolina game. Go to the Carolina game. 2 interceptions. You know, this is what Tyrod does: is turn the ball over. And so, and neither one of them played well in the Carolina game either. And so the only sample game that you have of Tyrod is the Tampa game where he played the entire game.
Right. Yep.
Right. and in that game, his 2 turnovers is what cost the game.
Sure.
Either one of those don't happen, the Jets win the game.
Sure.
And one thing that Tyrod has 4 turnovers in essence 2 games. He's got 2 halves and 1 full game. Justin Fields has 3 turnovers in 7 games. I get it. He's not producing. But he's also not giving the other team opportunities.
Indeed.
And so with that, you have to let the playmakers, which is what's happened in the last 2 games. He's allowed the playmakers, Breece Hall and some of these other players, to make the plays. We're not counting on Justin to make plays anymore because he's not the guy. We got our answer that he's not our long-term guy. But Tyrod is a turnover machine, and he doesn't have the ability like Drake May. Drake May, has been sacked 35 times. He's got, 6, 7, 8 turnovers, but he can make up for it. Tyrod can't. Tyrod's going to turn the ball over, but he can't make up for his own inept.
Andy, I'm not disagreeing with anything you are saying here. I'm not disagreeing with a single thing. There's not a massive difference between Tyrod and Justin. However, there have been 4 times this season where Fields doesn't throw for over 60 yards.
Yeah, I get it.
It is more about opening up the offense and just showing that the passing offense could be something you have to keep track of with Taylor on the field. Then, all right, well, Justin's on there. If you just take away his first read, they have absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's, I think, the difference of why, if a move were to happen, and again, as I said, I don't think it's going to happen unless it's so bad in the first half in New England that they have no choice. But you don't have the answer at quarterback. We all agree that there's the quarterback the Jets are going to roll with moving forward in 2026 is not on the roster.
Raise a glass to that. Hell yes.
Let's acknowledge that. But I think it's at least it looks a little bit better when you're throwing 5 yards, 6 yards, 8 yards instead of let me hold the football until someone is directly in my face and then we'll just see where the ball goes.
And I guess I look at it as I'll take the ineptitude that Fields does, but keeps the guys in play. Whereas the turnover in the critical times is what Tyrod does.
That. And it
lets any momentum the Jets lets the momentum of anything the Jets have lets the air right out of it, and he's notorious for that.
But if you're taking sacks and you're missing reads and you're not throwing the football, it is just as bad as a quarterback that's saying, "Listen, we stink. We have nothing going. Let's rip it and let's just see what happens."
But isn't that Fields' rip it is not passing? Fields' rip it is his legs. So right, and that falls on Tanner. I thought Tanner called a pretty poor game, even though
this guy's open. And like you look at the tape.
I watched the tape.
Open.
I did watch the tape, and I didn't see a lot of guys open on, if you look at his third read, yes, but Fields isn't going to get to his third read. I mean, we know that.
Okay, but again, that's not
so
on
if you
Tanner. It's about letting a quarterback go through progressions. They said they were going to let him play quarterback, and he can't do it.
Again, did he? How many passes did our tight ends get in the first half?
I don't think they got many at all.
They didn't get it. I don't think they got any. Right. And that's got to fall on Tanner, because if you've got to get your tight end as you already know Fields can't go past, he can barely get past 1 read. So he's not going to get past 2. I mean,
Cleveland
that's almost a guarantee.
Of taking away the tight ends. They understood. And again, Cleveland's defense is very, very good. I want to be fair to that. They are. They have really good linebackers, really good safeties. All of that needs to be taken into account. The Browns came in with the realization we're taking away the tight ends, and this quarterback's going to absolutely have no idea where to go with the football. And that's exactly what happened. The difference is the offensive line opened up holes in the running game, and that's what saved this game for the Jets.
Yeah, and that Schlesinger, we talked about this yesterday, BG. There was, he was in the backfield, had his hands on Fields before Fields even had a chance to hand the ball off. That was horrible play by Josh Myers.
That could have been a fumble. That could have been a game-changing play. Lucky that Justin was able to
So-
barely hand the ball off to Brees.
Yeah. Do you see that the Jets need to really address that center early in the draft this year, or high in the free agent?
I think, well, first off, I think Myers has been fine. He's not a top 10 center. But the way Joe Tippmann has played this year, you're kind of looking at it like, all right, well, you're going to have to choose one of the guards to give a contract to. I think it should be AVT, but his injury history tells you that he may not be as reliable as you want him to be. And you're kind of put in a position where, all right, you do not have to draft a center in round 1. Because, as you saw from the Jets offensive line, they can be really good with a mediocre center. They do not run an offense like Philadelphia where they're predicated on the center making checks. So you don't have to rely on paying a center $15 million or drafting one in the first round. You certainly want a developmental one, but if Joe Tippmann continues to play dominantly at guard, there's absolutely no reason to move him.
So real quick
right.
here, Nick. So
Yeah.
you said that your preference would be that the Jets sign AVT. If that's true, do you just plug him back in at the position he played at the very beginning of this crazy journey, and he's back to left guard where it all started before? Learn left tackle, right guard, this, that, or the other, and then Simpson, see ya, and then AVT is your left guard back where it all began at the beginning of the journey?
I think that's certainly a possibility, but that also comes down to what they value. And they could look at AVT and say, listen, buddy, you haven't been healthy. We'll let you hit the open market. They also could say, hey, we're going to bring both of our guards back and Tippmann's going to be our center and our offensive line's going to be the best in football. They could very well say that as well.
Yeah, I just I didn't think that Josh Myers played very well. I think the rest of the offensive line played pretty well. I thought the tackles, especially
Phenomenal.
against Myles Garrett, played.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, you can't ask for two better young guys. We've got the foundation here. But I just think that, the lack of Fields mistakes, I think that if they were just, let him burn his legs up. I don't care. We know he's not the future of the team. So just, use him as a running back, quarterback, and go back to the old high school option plays and allow him to get 10 or 15 attempts at running the ball, because he can run just as good as either one of the running backs we have.
Well, they had that one play where Justin Fields faked it to Brees Hall, ran a speed op left, and John Mechie came back and did a wide receiver reverse pitch back to him. So they got into it ended up being a terrible result, but they did that once. It was kind of crazy, but I don't get, let's, again, it was sort of to what I said earlier before Nick came on. The Jets are a massive underdog against the New England Patriots. 11.5 points, as I was just told, that the line is getting even more money towards the New England Patriots. You need to be willing to do whatever if you're the Jets. Everyone thinks you're going to lose, so just fucking throw everything at the wall. And
the line's 11.5.
Yeah, it keeps going higher. Yeah, it started at 10.5. It's now 11.5.
Oh, I'm feeling dangerously confident.
Ooh. Okay,
right.
There you go, Nick. Let's make some money.
And Drake May, outside of that Tampa game last week, the prior 3 games, he's taken 18 sacks in 3 games prior to that. That's a lot.
Young quarterback, young quarterback, but also it's a reminder that the Patriots are not a finished product. They're playing really well, and I truly believe because they have an easy schedule. They've beaten the Bills, they've beaten the Bucks. They've won the tests they've needed to win, and all credit to them. I think it's because May has been phenomenal. But do I trust this team to beat Buffalo or Kansas City in a playoff game? No. Do I trust them to beat any of these other top teams when it matters most? I don't think so either.
Yeah, and I just look forward to JJ and Will, keeping up that streak. And if you can, he's young, kind of like when Josh Allen was young, and you could rattle him, you could force him into some mistakes. I'm hoping that's kind of what our defensive ends do this Thursday is we can rattle him and hit him and force him into force this young quarterback into some mistakes. Because if you don't, Drake May is good enough that if you leave him back there for 3 or 4 seconds,
gonna kill you.
He will just pick it apart like we're not even there. So you're gonna have to hit the kid at over and over and over until you force him to make the mistakes that he's prone to make just as a young quarterback. So
Sure.
you know,
Well, we'll
good
see.
luck on a 4-day rest on top of that.
Yeah, right.
Um,
100%.
but hey, you know, it's always good to see you, Nick. BG, keep up.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Indy, for that. We'll get back to the phone lines here in just a second. Just because we're on that quarterback conversation, I see we have a member shout out here. So let's get this on the show.
Wow.
There's two things here. The thing is that, again, I disagree respectfully with some of what Indy said. Like, the fact that Justin Fields only had 54 passing yards and 42 of them came on a Breece Hall screen, and he lost 12 yards of sacks. If you take away the screenplay, Justin Fields had 0 net passing yards. 0. So that I'm worried about this question, which I'm about to bring up. And here's the other thing. When you are that minimalistic and then you throw a god-awful pick, I'd rather have Tyrod throwing the pick because at least he's throwing for 100-something yards. I mean, again, that's not great, but it's better than Fields. So we go to a Big Islander fan here who's been a member for 9 months. Thank you, Big Islander fan. How can you evaluate anyone with Fields playing? Because now that Garrett Wilson's going to be out for the foreseeable future, it's time for the young bucks, the new kids on the block. Adonai Mitchell, Arian Smith, John Mechie III. All right, youngsters, do one of you have something? Because it seems like that's who's going to have to step up here, Nick.
Screens, end arounds, jump passes. You just try to facilitate an offense any way you possibly can. But Big Islander fan here is right. And listen, that was a big win for the Islanders last night against the Devils. Very happy to see. But the way that I see this is you can't judge anyone on this offense. The only legitimate evaluation that you can give is on the offensive line. And it's, okay, these guys can play. These guys are really, really good. Fashanu and Membu, your 2 tackles for the next decade and a half, playing really damn good football. Tippmann, really looking like a great interior offensive lineman. Simpson started to play better. Obviously a question with Josh Myers, but as long as you have the offensive line, it changes how you look at the quarterback position because you're not throwing Fernando Mendoza, potentially, in a Sam Darnold or Zach Wilson type of boat. The Jets offensive line ahead of Sam Darnold was terrible. It wasn't much better for Zach Wilson. Now that you have a competent offensive line, it changes the conversation for a rookie quarterback to start right away. You do not have to worry about them taking massive, massive hits when an offensive line is this talented. So that's really much the only evaluation that you can give at this point. Everything else, especially from a play calling perspective, Tanner Engstrand is coaching with one arm tied behind his back and having to build a competent offense. And I got to be honest, I have been more impressed with him than any other Jets coach this season. I like what I've seen from Glenn the last couple of weeks. Steve Wilkes has shown an ability to adapt, which I think is important. But from a week-to-week standpoint, none of these coaches have the absolute hole that Justin Fields puts Tanner Engstrand in. And the fact that he continues to build an offense and have an offensive scheme that legitimately looks competent, it looks modern, that is a very good sign. And then I can't evaluate him fairly when his quarterback can't throw the football.
Agreed. 100%. It's been a little bit of a disaster. All right, let's go over back to the phone lines. We got Casey and the Sunshine Band, Kyle Clifton, baby. What's up, Kyle?
It's not that Fields can't throw the football. It's that he won't throw the football.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It's yes and yes. When he throws
yes.
the ball, it's terrible. When he doesn't throw it, when he holds onto the ball, it looks awful. It's just,
right.
It's one of the two. It's always one of the two.
It's the reason that they're at the top of near the top of the league in sacks allowed, because he's holding the ball too long. Yep. You don't see him throw the ball away like you do other quarterbacks when the play's not working out, and they're not throwing the ball that much. So when they do, if it's not there, he should be doing that and not taking negative plays. I disagree wildly with Indy, and that does happen on these channels. It's been but like. It's just that, you need to be able to not take negative plays all the time. And you need to be able to throw the ball downfield a little bit. And he has shown a marked reluctance to do that. Mm-hmm. So, there's a very small sample size that we've seen this year with Tyrod, right? And he hasn't really Had a lot of time to prepare as a starter. Like
Right.
his career body of work tells us that he is not the guy who is necessarily a turnover machine, but he is someone who is a competent guy that when he's called upon can run an offense. Let's see if he can do that for a week and maybe get us a win. I think to what Nick was saying, his point is it's not really about evaluating these quarterbacks at this point. It's evaluating these skill players. It's about evaluating, some of these guys that they've brought in, your tertiary tight ends and your third and fourth wide receivers, and just seeing what they can be, or if they can be anything, and if they have a shot at being in camp next year. That's kind of how I feel about it. And Fields sucks. He's a very nice guy, has some leadership capability. It's just that, and the running capability, I think it's been reduced from past years. Like we see a lot more stumbling, a lot less confidence. If he doesn't have that, he is not an asset. It's really that simple. I appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you so much, Kyle, joining us here on the show. I agree. I feel like there's a lot of harsh analogies I could use. Let me try to bring it back home. If Justin Fields just isn't running to the same level, or they're not calling it, or both, I mean, with Justin Fields' inability to pass the football forward, well, we're running into some big issues here. We have 400 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Back to the phone lines. Easy's up next. Easy.
Well, I mean, Indy said something kind of crazy. He was saying that, Tyrod throws the ball away or intercepts, and they don't have a lot of opportunities and stuff like that. But, 3 and outs are pretty bad too.
Yeah,
3 and outs give the other team a lot of opportunities. And Justin Fields is like the king of 3 and out. So I mean,
actually, that reserved to the Eagles' offense right now. No team has more 3 and outs.
Yeah, I mean, a 3 and out, you may as well throw an interception downfield. It's the same as a fucking punt. The problem is he won't even throw the ball downfield. When I was watching the game this week, there were multiple guys open on several occasions, and I'm not talking 3-4 seconds in. I'm talking they were open, and he just does not throw the ball. And these are guys that were running open over the middle in that hole in the zone, cutting across on an angle out, and he just don't throw it. He doesn't have confidence, or he's more worried about throwing an interception than trying to win a game.
He's not an anticipatory thrower. That's the problem. If you don't have an anticipatory thrower in this offense, you're not going to be successful.
Does he not know where his players are going? Does he not know?
I hope he does. I mean, he should know the plays.
It's not the case. It's not the case. So if he sees a receiver open, he needs them to be open for a couple of seconds before he gets rid of it. And that's not what works.
This is not college. This is the NFL.
And there you go.
Which for him means not for long. Which for him means not for long. I mean, you got it. People tease me because I was saying 1-2 throw. That's what he's got to do. Just throw the ball. As soon as the guy gets a step, throw it. Because our receivers, A, are faster than their defensive backs, and B, our receivers know where they're going. So the offense always has that advantage if you can just throw the ball. I mean, Drake May is a younger player than Justin Fields, but he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
Even the kid last week, even the kid who we played against in Cleveland last week, when he had time, he was deadly.
And he kept taking. Well, I would say I don't know about deadly, but he took green grass in front of him.
He pulled off a lot of 3 and long, 3rd and long.
He overthrew a screen pass that should have been a touchdown.
Malachi Corley, which I appreciate because I don't need any more revenge game angles. Thank you very much. But Dylan Gabriel had green grass. The Jets better have that figured out because here's a spoiler alert. Drake May is more fleet of foot than Dylan Gabriel. and Dylan Gabriel was chopping up the Jets defense when they were not putting either a QB spy or there was a lack of rush integrity from the defensive ends. Again, Drake May will make you pay. People don't know that apparently about his game. Learn it. He can use his wheels. He's not Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have to be, but the Jets better mind their P's and Q's. If they give those same opportunities that they gave to Dylan Gabriel and Drake May, it's going to be a lot of problems for the Jets on Thursday night.
I got a question for Nick.
Oh, shoot. All right, go ahead.
If Nick, so if you were going to, I guess, scheme out this week's offense, would you be including lots and lots of screen passes to the backs? Or like center screens to the tight end where he chips off the like the tight end would chip off the edge rusher and then run over the middle, like for a pop pass over the middle, shit like that. Would you scheme a lot of that?
It's an easy solution to say, but Vrabel's defense has done a very, very good job of maintaining gap discipline, and the linebackers are playing really good football right now. This is not a defense that can be trifled with and saying, just throw screens and that'll solve that. This is a very complex defense that is playing some really good football against some really good offenses. What they did to Tampa Bay was shocking, to say the least, because the Bucs are one of the best offenses in football, and Baker's one of the best quarterbacks, and he looked overwhelmed. So I don't think it's just that simple to say, oh, throw screens and that's it. It's you're going to have to find matchups within the game and try and put yourself in a position to succeed against this multiple look defense to even give yourself a chance.
No doubt about it. All right, we got a couple more callers, so we'll wrap up the show. Dave Briga's next. What's up, Dave?
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you today?
Yeah, good to see you, pal.
Yeah, it's good. Snow is a riven here in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we have it outside my house. I went out I was going to bring out the trash. I'm like, son of a, and snow's everywhere here in New York. So it's here.
The winter is here. Anyway, I never thought that Fields would look actually worse than Zach Wilson. And it's unreal.
It's almost like that entire quarterback class is one of the worst that we've ever.
Other teams go through this? I'm asking, Dave, you're a man of faith. I'm asking God, like, what in the world? Like, we saw Zach Wilson, and at the end of Zach Wilson, we all looked at each other and said, well, at least we know it can't get worse than that. And then, hold my beer, buddy. And we've gotten, the quarterback play we've been subject to, the torture that we've been put through as Jet fans. I mean, good Lord.
Just remember this, Paul. Paul, just remember this. Just remember, if you think it's bad, and I'm going to offer some perspective.
Sure. Okay.
The Carolina Panthers had the number 1 overall pick, and they have a quarterback who cannot throw the football. The Cleveland Browns had a number 1 overall pick, win them a playoff game against their arch rivals on the road, and traded him because they wanted, quote, an adult in the room, and went after Deshaun Watson, who was in the middle of all the other things that I don't need to say on this thing. They had the audacity to say they wanted an adult in the room and brought in Deshaun Watson. As bad as the Jets quarterback room is, as bad as the decision-making has been, I will take futility over stupidity more than any other day.
All right. That's like, hey, do you want to chop off your arm or your leg? But I appreciate having the other option. So thank you for that, Nick. Back to you, Dave.
I think we're just stuck with Fields until the end of the year because they're not going to change him. I saw Tyrod Taylor when we were down at Tampa, and he just looks old. When he threw that pick 6 before halftime, that was it for me. I mean, he tried. I just think he just looks like he's had it. He looks shot. I mean. He's always injured. It's terrible. I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but he's injury prone beyond belief.
For sure, definitely.
I want to know Nick's take on, Lombardo's take of the trading for Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. I'll present that.
What does Nick think about that?
All right, Dave. Thanks for the call, and I'll present that here to Nick Farias. All right, Nick. Here we go. On Sunday, I'm joined every week by NFL insider Matt Lombardo. Not sure if you guys know each other. Used to cover the Eagles beat back in the day. He told me, hey, Paul, I want you to float something to me during our conversation on Sunday, and then we could walk through it. I think I have an idea for how the Jets could solve their quarterback problem. I'm like, all right, man, I'm all for it. If people have answers, I want to hear them. His answer was this. the Jets call up the Jacksonville Jaguars and they offer 2 first-round picks plus to get Trevor Lawrence, Goldilocks here to the Jets. And I will tell you, Nick, before you join me on the show, that conversation happened on the show. I posted it on social media. My Twitter currently has 350 responses to that Trevor Lawrence column. Another spoiler alert, fans were quite unhappy, calling it the worst take that they've ever heard in the history of sports. And I continue to get notifications. I just had 7 more in the last 2 seconds. So thank you to the fans and your passion. Nick, your thoughts on trading for Trevor Lawrence for 2 first-round picks plus to make him the new quarterback of the NYJ?
You are only adding a veteran quarterback for next season, for 2026. You're only adding a quarterback in that offseason if you do not fall in love with any of the rookie quarterbacks. So if they do not fall in love with Fernando Mendoza, if they do not fall in love with Ty Simpson, then you have to go into the quarterback market. And then you ask yourself, okay, what's available? What's going to be available? Right now, probably the top name off the bat is probably Kyler Murray.
Sure, probably.
Probably off the top.
Yeah.
And then you ask yourself, okay, does Kyler fix our problem? If the answer is no, then you don't go there. And then you say, okay, well, what other quarterbacks could we potentially move in a situation? And Trevor Lawrence's name is certainly going to be available. Liam Cohen, first year with the Jaguars. Maybe he wants to pick his quarterback. Lawrence has not been what everyone has expected of him as a number 1 overall pick. Maybe they just say we would rather just restart this up and see what happens.
Possible.
Lawrence, I think everyone would agree that Trevor Lawrence would be a better option at quarterback than Kyler Murray. So in that argument, that would make sense. But then you ask yourself, okay, what else is available? I don't think the Dallas Cowboys are going to trade Dak Prescott. It's not going to happen, especially now that they traded Micah Parsons. He's there. He's the entrenched starter. I don't think it's going to change. And then you look, okay, let's think. Out in the West, Matthew Stafford's not getting moved. He'll probably retire before he leaves the Rams. Brock Purdy, Mac Jones, maybe they have to choose one of them. But again, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, I think it's still Trevor Lawrence in all fairness. We already talked about the Cardinals. Then you look at the South. Bryce Young, maybe, but not exactly instilling confidence. In the East, we've already talked about it. Jalen Hurts isn't getting moved. Prescott isn't getting moved. In the North, Jared Goff, Jordan Love, Caleb Williams. Who else? J.J. McCarthy. Are these guys getting moved? Probably not. Then you look at the AFC side. Mahomes won't get moved. Herbert won't get moved. Knicks won't get moved. Do you want Geno Smith? Aaron Rodgers may retire. Lamar Jackson. Everyone's looking at Joe Burrow. And
Joe Burrow! Yeah.
But what means the Cincinnati? Who says the Cincinnati Bengals are going to move him? They already gave him a contract. They don't want to eat up dead cap. Who says they're going to trade him? The Browns have nobody. In the East, you have Allen, May, and Tua. Do you want Tua Tagovailoa?
I do not.
I mean, I've just gone through all the veteran quarterbacks in this league. And as much as we can say, oh, Trevor Lawrence would be a terrible pick, if you don't fall in love with a rookie, then you have to go after a veteran. And if you're going after a veteran, the top 2 names right now are Kyler and maybe if Liam Cohen wants to move off of Trevor Lawrence. And I don't think that's a guarantee because I think he believes he can win with him. They're 5-4. They're not 2-7.
Let's get one last call in here on the show, and thank you to the 400 people that are in the room. Again, like the video, hit subscribe. But the 400 people watching, we have 150 of those on our YouTube channel, which I appreciate. That is the optimal way to enjoy the program. So I hope you guys are enjoying it there on YouTube. But we only have 74 likes, but over 150 people in the room. Other 75 people, make sure you guys like that video and hit subscribe. We'd appreciate it. One last call. Let's go to Carl, man with the Jet tattoo.
Hey, Nick.
Here, Carl. What's up,
Nick. How you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, Boy Green. Listen, all the speculation about who we could take, who might be available. Nick's right. We have no idea what other teams want to do with their quarterbacks. But I had to interrupt my workout because there's something that I have just got to say. Justin Fields is a man with zero confidence. He has lost all his confidence. He is on his 3rd team in 5 years. he knows he's not a stupid person. He knows that he's been playing shit football. He hears the outside noise. He's got to.
Yeah,
He's in a market where he can't avoid it.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields is just done because of his lack of confidence. I just think that's hit 99% of his problem. I think if he had a little bit of confidence, he'd be playable for the rest of the year, but I just don't think he's got it anymore. I think mentally, I think they should get him in to see a psychologist or something, because that's what I think is wrong with him. What do you think about that, Nick?
I think confidence has a part to play in it, but also, why can't it just be the simple fact? He's not an NFL starting quarterback. He's just not, and he never has been. He wasn't in Chicago. He wasn't in Pittsburgh. This is just who he is. He's just not an NFL starter.
But he's never played this badly.
He's been pretty bad before. I mean, he was pretty terrible in Chicago.
Well, I guess the point is that us Jet fans didn't watch him that much on his other teams.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, I never paid much attention, just what I heard about Justin Fields. But I think you got to just stick with him for the rest of the year, because I think Tyrod's done. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, I appreciate it. Thanks, brother, and get back to your workout. Man, it looks like the gun show is in full effect. So, Carl, whatever the hell you're doing, buddy, keep doing it, man. I mean, terrific. All right, Nick, I love it. We'll end there. Thank you to the 400 people that watched the show, and you've revved the engine, Nick, that it's possible that the Jets, I'm going to replay that LaDainian Tomlinson speech. Any man can be beat on any given day. He gave that speech in the year 2011. It was the 2010 playoff, and the Jets went out and beat the New England Patriots after getting their ass kicked 45-3 a handful of weeks earlier. So you're saying there's a chance?
I mean, there's always a chance, right? There's always a chance. And the fact that the Patriots are playing as well as they are, and they're coming off a big win, short week, 7-game winning streak, young quarterback, young team. Maybe a drop a little bit is not out of the realm of possibility. That's all I'll say.
All right. That's what I'm talking about, Nick Faria, baby. We love it. Thank you so much for joining us, Nick, and we'll catch you next week, and we'll review all this. Thanks, pal.
Definitely. Talk to you.
There he is, Nick Faria, joining us here on the show. So, Nick, saying again?
Who's gonna fly with the
I want to give you guys a heads up. When the Jets beat the New England Patriots, I'm going to be fucking intolerable. I am going to be so annoying. I'm going to be, oh yeah, I'm going to be freaking nuts. I just want everyone to know that in the universe. Know that you heard that here in advance. I am going to be absolutely losing my bleep. Hey, look at this. WR Garrett 7852 said, I did a Madden simulation game. The Jets won 22-21. Whether you win by 1 or 100, although I'd love to kick the Patriots' ass in a blowout, I'll take it any way that it comes, baby. So give it to me. One last final shout out here, by the way. Again, we're giving away a beautifully autographed Marty Lyons jersey, which comes with a certificate of authenticity, by the way. This is straight from the Marty Lyons Foundation. It is signed out to the Boy Green Coffee Club. It says Roll Tide, Marty Lyons, 93. And again, at the bottom of the jersey has all of his accomplishments stitched into the jersey. It's a beautiful piece. We're giving it away on December 1st. How do you get a chance to win this item? All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel at any point, at any time. You can do it at 3 separate points. $1 today, $1 tomorrow, $1 the next day. It all counts. And I keep track of it behind the scenes. So every $3 you spend is a raffle ticket to potentially win that prize. We'll give it away on December 1st. So good luck to everyone in the universe. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back at 3 o'clock for Boy Green Meets Woody. Can't wait for that. That's going to be great. We're going to answer and ask the top questions the Jets need to answer ahead of the New England Patriots game on Thursday Night Football. Very much looking forward to that conversation. We'll see you guys again soon. Again, like the video. That's a free way to contribute to this show and get this Jet show in front of other Jet fans out there in the universe. Don't be shy. Hit that like button, baby. Appreciate y'all. We'll see you next time.